live. So let's check that. Cue music. Hell yeah. Okay. So let me turn that down. It might be a little bit too loud for you to hear my shitty ass voice. Oh, speaking of my shitty ass voice. You'll hear it soon, more of it. If you buy the Z130, I'm totally gonna be in that. I'm kind of excited. So, yeah. I'll probably repeat this in a bit. You know, once we get, you know, I'll just talk. We're gonna look at this TACU. This is what actually happened in the mission last night. Things went according to, not sucking, you know? Alright, there's my flight of 4 Vipizzles. We're looking pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you do in an F-16, you probably look pretty cool doing it. Just has that. I mean, look at them. They're gorgeous. Anyway. So we got here this is a destruction of enemy air defense mission. If you are just joining the campaign in progress, this was mission 4 I flew yesterday. Flying mission 5 now, here in a few minutes. But our target is out here, this SA-10 Cluster F. Kind of trying to censor myself just a little bit to make myself a little more palatable to a more broad user base. Oh, you know what? I'm make sure this stream is working. Yeah, we're doing nuts. Silver 79, new channel. Good look online. Make sure the sound is coming through for you guys. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that for you guys. But yeah. So why is there a shady looking thing over the top of my, let's do this. Let me know if that helps. I'm still learning OBS, it's like its own skill. So sorry about that, I know it looks kinda jank. But anyway, so let's go back to TAC view here. Where are we at? Where's my TAC view at? Right here. Okay. So just pop through that threat ring here. We know the SA-10 is going to start right about meow. Going to start spewing the goo at us here. The SA-10 is freaking. All right, so I'm not getting shot at yet, but it's locking me up. So what I'm doing here is counting on my. The F-15s did not do well. You know, had I done my job and gone to kill this thing, maybe those F-15s. See, I'm calling this mission a success, but here I am, charged with destroying this so that this doesn't happen. Wait, who shot them down? Let's back this up. Is it my fault or not? No, it is not. Alright, so this is Ford flight. Where are these guys? That's Springfield. Where's those mud hens in question? Where the hell are they? Is that them? The 15E Dodge. 15C, the 15 Charlies are out here. Oh, that's Dodge, they're way the hell up there. Why are they? Okay, alright. Okay, so Ford. Okay, this is when, you know, alright, I'm on ingress. And a wild flight of flankers appears, right? So then I'm like, oh, well, what do I do about this? I want to go engage them naturally because I want to kill them. So instead, since they're in on me, I'm like, well, I'll just drag them toward my handy-capable fighter sweep. So I turn toward them, and I kind of pull them into the jaws of these AMRAAMs, and it was super effective. That was 2 Pokemon references within probably about 15 seconds. You didn't come here for that shit, did you? Didn't expect it, because I've never talked about Pokemon that I remember on my channel. So I'm not a really big Pokemon guy. However, I have been known to play an Emerald from time to time. Wow, look how broke. Look at these missiles, dudes. What is that? Yeah, it's R-27? Look, they're doing circles in the sky. Look, they're still doing. What are they? That's insane. Okay, anyway. So I'm coming in here. I'm not getting quite hard locked, but I'm getting like nailed nails from the. I think it's the clamshells we are charged with destroying. Springfield blows up. What are they doing? They're the guys chucking the arms from way the hell back here. How did they get blown up? SA-10 has fired missiles. These are firing at us like they should be. That's our job to be. Okay, alright. So let's kind of armchair quarterback it since we can do that, since we were there yesterday. Here's the F-15Es. Did I read something wrong? They must have had some mid-air collisions or some dumb shit back here. Same with Springfield. They were not getting shot at. They're out here getting ready to chuck harms in here while I'm getting in here. I'm the tip of the spear, like I should be. First in, last out, or whatever. I don't know. So, yeah, actually, we were doing our job. Okay. So that's what happens when you actually follow the flight plan. Oh, man, and then 1-4 starts getting hit. He strays into this threat ring. It takes a bunch of shots from that. The SA-10s are defending themselves against us, which they should be. Oh, man. All three of my wingmen got wiped out. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm out here doing the smart thing. Using my ECM pod to break the lock and all that, trying to milk them dry of SAMs, which are all going into my wingmen. Good lord. Am I the only one here? Blah, blah, blah. There's a meme about that? Yeah, I remember that getting shot at me, and it blew up right off my left wing. I remember that part. Yeah, it goes pop right here. Too close for my comfort. Yeah, that was from the HQ-7. Meanwhile, my wingmen are doing... They're breaking the game, basically. So the way this is scripted is... why am I running in on this guy? I need to run in on these guys. Alright. So, I'm going to slow this down because the way this is supposed to work, as in real red flags, when you get registered as dead, most of the time the controller, so I'm told, will tell you continue as if you hadn't gotten shot, so you can learn the rest of your mission, the rest of the skills that you should learn, assuming you aren't freaking dead. So these guys did that, but by doing that, they broke it for me because they're invincible essentially, and they missile sponged up all the shots from the SA-10. So while they're locking me, they have nothing to shoot. They spend all my missiles into my invincible wing, all their missiles into my invincible wingman. I come in here, you know, lock up my Maverick and feel like a total badass. I'm like, oh, you know, I bled them dry their missiles. Like, no, they weren't shot at me. They were shot at 3 other dudes who can't die. Boom. Okay, that's hit my primary target. And I'm thinking, oh shit, I got another Springfield still chucking them. So this looks like we won, but we actually wouldn't have. And I'm like, okay, well, I got another Maverick. I want to shoot that extra radar, but it's already been destroyed. So I find a launcher, lock it, fire it, you know, load that thing up. Smack. And then I'm like, okay, let's get the hell out of here. Wait, there's MiG-21s at some point, right? This is where I'm like, oh, hey, what are you? And it's a, no, that's not it. Over here, I'm like, hey, what are you? And I said it might be a Zeus. Yes, it was. I punched off my bags. And that's when I'm like, I think I called AWACS and I'm like, hey, where's, you know, what request picture? And they're like, oh, bullseye, something, you know, 27 something for 10. I'm like, hey, bullseye's right behind me. They must be even farther behind me. So they're right there. I'm like, I got plenty of missiles. Let's go do the shoots to them. And it looks something like this. My opening shots are horrible. Right here, that was way outside of our max. I'm shooting at these dudes. That was, and then I just like TMS right, try to pick a different target, and I fired at our max. And it's not a total waste because it causes them to break defensive. So you know what? You know, it's not as bad as I could have done. It wouldn't work great. These missiles are still trying to chuck after the same guy. I meant to fire at him. Whatever. And I ordered my wingmen to go attack bandits, and they're all chasing down. I don't know what the hell they're doing. That was not great. My first Fox 2 missed, right? Wait, let's back up. Back up. All right, I'm trying. There's my AIM-9X, Fox 2. He replies with an R3R, which is gonna miss for sure. And then I Fox 2 right into his face, which he deserved because he was a bitch. And then I'm like, okay, everybody regroup. And they're all mixed in. Now they're doing dogfighty things. 16. Colt 1-4 has been hit by an R60. They are not doing well. All right, wingman got a MiG, but like, look, everybody except me took hits that would have killed them. If this was a real airstrike, the entire blue side would have been wiped. So it looked like a success, but as a side, we did fucking horribly. And I will attribute that to this it's just AI behavior. There's really all there is to it. Like, because go back here. Where are we at? Right, so I think somewhere around here, I order wingman, you know, attack primary and then rejoin. Well, if we go to, let's go to, I don't know, pick one, Colt 2. Colt 1-2, let's pick him, I don't care. So he's being he's doing what I did the first couple of missions, which is do some mild jinking on the way in. But look at these guys. They got their heads down, probably trying to lock the Mavericks, and they're like, okay, I'm running in, I gotta shoot this. But they totally ignore, well, these are going up. These are this, right? He's got his head down trying to lock up, probably like I did previous 2 attempts. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll just take it. Boom, boom, and boom. That's it, they're done. That's it. That would have left just me. So that would have left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 missiles, 10 missiles for me to contend with if these guys had actually exploded like they should when getting hit by giant ass SI-10 missiles. So I would have had to, okay, no. Why are they waiting until this close? How? Okay, so this is Colt. Who's this? Colt 1-4, okay. So he is getting in like damn near gun range, it looks like, to shoot that. I mean, you want to fire that thing from as far away as possible, 7 miles max. Right? But he's in 2 miles away. He should be shooting from back here. You know, like somebody, like, here, where do I fire from? Here's me out here. And that should look something more like this. Let's go back to me. That's about 5 miles away. So, I don't know, man. Like, I did fine. But you know what? Considering the previous mission, I pumped 2 AMRAAMs into the tail of my AI wingman, I think we're just going to call it a wash. Alright, so let's kill this awesome music. And then we're going to switch over to DCS. And we're going to go with mission 5, which is an exposure. A flanker exposure. See if we can fit the screen or something. I don't know. How's that look for you guys? Is that looking alright? Alright, hope the ratios are all correct and everything. Alright, there's mission 5 in this campania is a flanker exposure, which I think is going to be like one of those, well, we'll find out. I don't know. They're going to expose me to, yeah, whatever. There's like, I can make 80 jokes about that, but they're all basically the same joke. Alright, mission planner. I'm guessing. What are they gonna give me? Alright, we're actually full enough. Okay, I thought it was gonna be like one of those, alright, they're flying out of Grim Lake. They're flying out of the container. Gotta make sure not to fly too much farther north of waypoint 2 here. What I thought it was gonna be was one of those like segmented missions where it like cuts to, you know, sequence 2 and you're, you know, flying, you know, setting up a butterfly set or whatever. But this is a fly out there and meet 'em situation, so where are we? Right here? That is the playa. That's me. And they're arming us with good air-to-air. 4 M9Xs, 2 AMRAAMs, and pods for days. No external fuel. Gotta watch that. Alright, let's do it. I'm looking at my stream and it looks like a little shaded out. If that's looking funny to you guys, let me know. There's something going on with my OBS. All right. Max power. Nice to fly in daylight again. I'm having some track IR problems if you haven't noticed, especially when I look a little down. It's starting to get all jittery, so please bear with me. Or not, I mean, it's up to you what you bear with. Do-do-do. I'm gonna have to learn how to use that data transfer thing. Alright, we're at rough ready. This thing's pretty quick if you don't care too much about your perfect alignment or whatnot. Once the alignment happens, I'll actually do a bit this time. Let's see, what do we got? Channel 4. Then channel 13 for range control. Oh, I get to get my ass kicked by a flanker. Loving it. Defensive, so offensive, he turns right and I turn into on his 6, 3/4 shot. Then learn how to not get killed by a flanker when he's in my 5 o'clock. That's gonna go probably predictably. Okay, so check in with range control right about here. Learn to dogfight the flanker, start it, take off in 10 minutes from mission start. Okay. All right, track hire. Now you're pissing me off. All right. Give me J-Hemix. I have one, right? Yes, excellent. All right, basically ready to go. What time is it in Zulu? I've got another 4 minutes. What's my altimeter setting? 30.51. I think we're good. Cat 1, as it should be. Radio's good. Let's do the bit. I think we're good. Once that bit's done, I'll head on out. We'll still be a little bit ahead of schedule. All right, we're good. All right.
Colt 1, request startup.
They are not going to reply. They never do. I must have said something accidentally, you know, accidentally offensive or insensitive or something in the tower one day. Been like, hey guys, how's it going? How's that federal shutdown going? Oh shit, too soon. Sorry. This timeline, I swear to yeah. I'm just waiting for Marty McFly to fix this shit. Like, Biff Tannen running the show. Like the older geriatric, even skeezier version of Biff Tannen running things. Like, ugh. And there's that nasty, gaudy looking fucking tower over there. Anyway, back to DCS, where everything is fine. We can learn to kill each other like civilized people. Wonder how they're going to handle ammunition in this mission. Should I have taken that left turn? Whatever, we'll fix it on the back end. I'm not even going to bother requesting a takeoff. You're dead to me, tower. I'm dead to you? You're dead to me, Kyle. Right, so I have this hypothesis. Stop me if you've heard this one before or you just don't give a shit. Hang on one second. My hypothesis is between South Park and Star Trek. there's an episode in one or both of those series about every subject you care to put out there. Out of burner. And before you say Simpsons did it, that is included
Task 1, airborne.
in my hypothesis, because South Park has an episode about that where they say Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it, Simpsons did it. So, because the Simpsons universe and everything encapsulated therein is nested within South Park because of that episode, between South Park and Star Trek, which on their own probably include everything, but now also include the Simpsons. Those three shows have an episode about everything. I'm definitely a bigger Star Trek guy than South Park, but you know damn well the South Park guys are big Star Trek fans as well. There's this whole thing. I talked about this already about the what I can't remember what video it was. What I was doing. It's probably one of my long flights over the channel in a Mustang or something. About a Trey Parker and Matt Stone's college project called Cannibal the Musical, which is based on, it's a humorous take. It is what you think it is. It's about historical events, and it's hilarious. But there's the trick to that is you got to find the DVD and get a 6-pack of something and watch it through once, just hit play, and then watch it through the second time with commentary, because it's Parker and Stone and all their friends, all the cast and the crew who made the movie. This is like when they're in college and they don't have any money. They just made it because it's what they felt like they should be doing. And the commentary is them drinking and talking about all the things as they remember them. And it's funnier the second time around with those guys. They sound just like you and your friends sitting around drinking, talking shit about something you did. And it's like, oh man, that sounds familiar. Those guys are hysterical. And I was going somewhere with that. Oh, yeah. There's a joke in Cannibal the Musical where the main character is being accused of something, cannibalism, which he's guilty of, but not the way they think. And he says something like, but that's not how it happened. Or, that's not how it happened. I forget the line exactly. But they say in the commentary, the reason they put that just so in the movie, just like that, is because what Star Trek original series episode, Kirk says he's accused of something, and he says, but that's not how it happened. And something about that made them want to put that in Cannibal the Musical, so that's why that line is in that movie, just because they thought it was a funny reference to something they knew nobody else was going to get. And that's, they go on this whole thing about how to be truly funny or to have, good integrity or whatever, you do the things you want to do, not do the things that you think everybody else is going to like, which is exactly how my stream runs, and that's why I'm the only one in it right now. Our integrity, motherfuckers.
Colt 1, Nels departure. Clear scheduled via 60s common airspace. Contact Blackjack, UHF, channel 13.
Blackjack, Colt 1 as fragged.
Colt 1, Blackjack, cleared tactical, contact Flanker 1.
Flanker 1, Colt 1 radio check.
Flanker 1, loud and clear. We'll start with that 2 versus 2 tactical intercept as briefed. Flanker 1, ready.
Colt 1 ready.
Colt 1 ready.
Fights on.
Wait, fights on? That's a long way for fights on. Oh, does this mean just shoot him with an AMRAAM? Because I'm all about that. Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna cheese the hell out of this because, hey, it's what I do. Alright, so do I have a lock on him or not? There we go.
Counter.
I'll counter when I'm ready. He's got first shot, huh? Okay. Crank him.
Shaft. Flare. Counter. Counter.
So I guess my ammo didn't hit. Gotta watch that fuel. Oh, I got him. All right.
Counter.
Fox 3.
Shaft. Flare.
That's probably not gonna hit. I think I cranked too early. Get him, buddy. I don't want to risk murdering my wingman. Why not?
Shaft. Flare.
Flanker 1, terminate.
Colt 1, terminate.
Okay, Colt Flight, let's go ahead and split up for some 1 versus 1 training. We'll start with the performance comparison profile and then move on to some BFM setups.
Okay, so I'm down to 3 winders, am I correct? Alright, whatever. Oh, so it's it is a resetty. Dun dun dun, Fox 3, yes. Hey, how's it going? So, I'm trying to read that name, trying to remember it. So, thanks for coming back yet again. 6, is that 6, how do you pronounce that? I almost said 6 megahertz HP, but that's MTZ HP. 6 meters to, how is that pronounced? Alright, so we're going to learn some flankings. Oh boy, do I suck at formation
Okay,
flying.
let's run through a performance comparison profile. Now, just stay in a loose observation position so you can follow along as I run through this. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, auto throttle. I love it.
Now, roll rate and roll response is going to be good throughout the flight envelope. I'll demonstrate a couple at close to max rate.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Now, for acceleration, I'm going to use full afterburner, and you try to keep up. My aircraft has a great thrust-to-weight ratio. That means it can regain speed in a dogfight very quickly or turn and run in a pinch.
I was a little late into the burner, so he's gonna walk away. 6-speed manual. Ah, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Now, if I kicked in my burner earlier, I think I would have caught him. So we're
Okay, let's decelerate.
about comparable.
So throttle back, open your speed brakes, and give me some space so you don't overshoot. Now my speed brake is very effective. It'll give me an advantage if I find myself in a position where I need to decelerate rapidly. I'll extend or retract it now so you can have a look. You can see it up on top of the airframe.
Yeah, that is a pretty good decel. That is nasty.
Okay, join back up if you're out of position. Let me know when you're all set. We'll look at aircraft maneuverability next.
Yeah, if you can accelerate and decelerate that well, that's not not something I want to get in too close to. Had a sensible name, and then YouTube forced us to change for a lot of people to switch to. Oh yeah, yeah, I gotcha.
Now let's look at the sustained turn rate. I'm going to put the aircraft into as tight a turn as possible while maintaining airspeed. Now this isn't the tightest turn I can make, but it's the one that I can sustain indefinitely. Now our relative performance will vary depending on loadout and fuel state, but I'm likely to have the advantage over you. Now I'm going to turn
I don't know, I'm accelerating in this turn.
up to the max G load available. The extra drag as my AOA ramps up exceeds the amount of thrust I have, so that causes me to lose airspeed very rapidly. You can use that to your advantage and turn inside my circle if I allow myself to get too slow.
Yeah. Okay, so right there, instead of me pulling max G like that, I was just making a comparison. Okay, good to know, good to know. If he pulls high alpha like that, if I do the same, he's just gonna outrate me. Don't follow that, go vertical, one way or the other. Okay, good to know, good to know.
Now you're probably out of position, but that's okay. Just try to keep me in sight. I'm going to climb and let my speed bleed off into a tail slide. Now, your aircraft does not have the same high AOA capability, so don't try to follow me up. Just keep me in view. Now in general, you want to avoid prolonged turning close-in engagements with my aircraft.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You need to completely disengage to retain higher energy for a possible...
Oh, that's gnarly. That is gnarly. Okay, that's how you use the Cobra? Woo-hoo-hoo! That is nasty. Wow, yeah. That's not something I'd want to be on the wrong end of. Flanker zoom climbs. Don't take that bait. What would I do? Chasing him, unless I've got a huge energy.
A typical escape maneuver from a low speed situation like I'm in now will be a split S.
Yeah, that's...
So watch as I roll inverted and then pull for the ground. I'll pull out of the half loop flying in the opposite direction. This allows me to trade altitude for airspeed and get my turning capability back.
Alright, where'd he go? I lost him. He's back there.
Okay, that wraps up the performance profile, so let's try a few BFM setups. Just let me know what you want to start with, and I'll get myself into position.
Let's start with the oh shit. He's on my tail. Yeah, I don't think buying beer anywhere near covers a cracked wing spar. Ooh. Let's see. What are we gonna do? Communications F10. We're gonna do defensive. Let's start with the shittiest and work our way up from there. He's gonna get me, I'm sure, but that'll kind of drive the point home. Don't let a flanker on your tail. I mean, really don't let anybody back there, but you know, sometimes things happen. So how do you fight your way out of it? What do we know about the flanker, and what are we going to do about it? He's going to be off at what, 3 o'clock, right? Yeah, there we go.
This will be a defensive BFM setup for you. At your 3 o'clock at about 9,000 feet range, I will be the attacker. I'll call for a 50-degree check turn to the left to put myself on an offensive approach.
Gotcha.
Reverse your turn at my reverse call, then maneuver at will and engage if my fight's on call. Flanker 1, ready.
Got 1-1 ready.
Colt 1 ready.
Check 50 left.
So turn into 210.
Reverse.
260. I think.
Fights on.
Alright, where's he at? I'm like, oh shit, flanker. Somewhere. Step 1. Find bad guy. Whoa. Found him.
Flanker 1, terminate.
Colt 1, terminate.
Yeah, would have been, had a... You know, I want to do that again. Alright. This time I want to keep him in sight. See if I can do a little better. I'm thinking Koei, and he's on my tail. I think the only real option is a split us.
This will be a defensive BFM setup for you. I'm at your 3 o'clock at about 9,000 feet range. I will be the attacker. I'll call for a 50-degree check turn to the left to put myself on an offensive perch. Reverse your turn at my reverse call, then maneuver at will and engage at my fight's on call. Flanker 1, ready.
Colt 1 ready.
Colt 1, ready.
Check turn left,
Check
right?
50 left.
50. I'm going to cheat a little bit and bump up that speed.
Reverse. Fights on.
Still don't see him. There he is.
Chaff, flare.
No, 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 no! Damn.
Flanker 1, terminate.
Colt 1, terminate.
What's the solution? Just extend? Go the other way? There's got to be a way out of this. You know, I was thinking go into mission 6 and do whatever that has us do, but like there's a lot to learn here. I'm gonna try and milk it because that's a perfect setup, perfect condition to learn how to not get shot when you get a flanker in your recorder. He's going with heaters. I'm not gonna be able to. How are we doing this, guys?
This will be a defensive BFM setup for you. I'm at your 3 o'clock at about 9,000 feet range. I will be the attacker.
He's hard to
I'll call
see.
for a 50-degree check turn to the left to put myself on an offensive perch. Reverse your turn at my reverse call, then maneuver at will and engage at my fight's on call. Flanker 1, ready.
Colt 1, ready.
Check 50 left.
I think instead of turning right, I'm going to turn left and see how that goes. Might buy me a little bit of time to separate out, get my nose on him. I don't know, just
Reverse.
spitting.
Fights on.
That's showing in my tail. Okay, tally. Oh, fucking track higher.
Chaff, flare.
Damn that missile! God!
Flanker 1, terminate.
Colt 1, terminate.
Yeah, split the throttles on a single engine. If I can do that, I will win, I guarantee you. No, I saw him, but like... Yeah, my track IR curve is not what it needs to be for this. What are we doing? This is gonna get repetitive, but like, I don't know. I might be a little bit... how do you put it?
This will be a defensive BFM setup for you. I'm at your 3 o'clock at about 9,000 feet range. I will be the attacker. I'll call for a 50-degree check turn to the left to put myself on an offensive perch. Reverse your turn at my reverse call, then maneuver at will and engage at my fight's on call. Flanker 1, ready.
Colt 1, ready.
Check 50 left.
Alright, 215.
Reverse.
255. And you know what? I'm going to cheat because he...
Fights on.
How about that?
Flare.
Of course he ate the flare. God damn it. Okay, well. Follow the lovely flares.
Chat. Flare.
I lost sight of him, so where the hell is he? I don't like this at all. Yep, he's on my 6. It's only a matter of seconds now.
Chat. Flare.
Nope.
Flanker 1, terminate.
Colt 1, terminate.
This is fucking demoralizing. But I signed up for that. We got this. I mean, the real trick is to get eyes on him, lock your 9X, and fire as soon as possible, but hope it doesn't eat the flares. And then not lose sight of him like I did. I think if I had kept him in sight, I would have done, I mean, obviously.
This will be a defensive BFM setup for you. I'm at your 3 o'clock at about 9,000 feet range. I will be the attacker. I'll call for a 50-degree check turn to the left to put myself on an offensive perch. Reverse your turn at my reverse call, then maneuver at will and engage at my fight's on call. Flanker 1, ready.
Colt 1, ready.
Yeah, I'm ready to get my ass kicked again.
Check 50 left.
Since it's going to reset the scenario, I'm going to cheese this up and like just burn fuel like a maniac.
Reverse. Fights on.
Chat. Flare.
Where is he? There he is. That's probably going to hit me. Yep.
Flanker 1, terminate.
Colt 1, terminate.
So what I'm taking away from this is that, oops. The one time I got a 9X on him, it ate the flare, but my flares do not affect his R70 million or whatever he's got. Oh, this sucks. Which is funny because, like, me and the wingman going head on BVR against the flankers, like, we had no trouble wiping the floor with them going head on when we started from farther away. Here's your quarter. Oof. I'm really just learning don't let him back there. But there's got to be a way to defeat this.
At your 3 o'clock at about 9,000 feet range, I will be the attacker. I'll call for a 50-degree check turn to the left to put myself on an offensive perch. Reverse your turn at my reverse call, then maneuver at will and engage at my fight's on call. Flanker 1, ready.
Colt 1, ready.
Check 50 left. Reverse. Fights on.
Chat. Flare.
God, fuck it all.
Flanker 1, terminate.
This is disgusting.
Colt 1, terminate.
Whew. Okay, deep breaths, deep breaths. That did look a little better. That little glare in the canopy kind of throws you off. All these little nitpicky things, like, you're talking like split seconds and, you know, small amounts of degrees at high speed. Like, every little, you know, imprecise roll kind of adds up, you know what I mean?
This will be a defensive BFM setup for you. I'm at your 3 o'clock at about 9,000 feet range. I will be the attacker. I'll call for a 50-degree check turn to the left to put myself on a defensive perch. Reverse your turn at my reverse call, then maneuver at will and engage if my fight's on call. Flanker 1, ready.
Colt 1
There's
ready.
gotta be a way to do this.
Check 50 left.
Alright. So it's 260. We're going to 210. Which is right here. He's back there.
Reverse.
What I think I'm gonna do is just split S for the deck right off.
Fight's on.
Chat.
Right into that missile. There's just no...
Flanker 1, terminate.
Colt 1 terminate.
I cannot get my nose around fast enough before he gets that missile off the rail. I did it once out of, what, 10 tries so far? That's not good odds. I don't like it at all. There's got to be a solution to this. I'm taking suggestions. Hornet could do it. This, you know, in this scenario, I think the Hornet might have the slight win. Or if there's a HUD
This will
mode
be a
that's
defensive BFM
the kind of
setup for
equivalent to
you. Metro 3 o'clock at about 9,000 feet range. I will be the attacker. I'll call for a 50-degree
High
check
vertical
turn
scan.
to the left to put myself on a defensive perch. Reverse your turn at my reverse call, then maneuver at will and engage if my fight's
hang on. There's got to be what do we got? I need a HOTAS charts. There's got to be a BFM mode, which is like a vertical scan. That would be fucking dandy right now.
Colt 1 ready.
Check 50
Give me a second. Sorry, guys. I'm going on Google. You don't shame me. You know you've done this. DCS F-16 vertical scan HUD mode. There's no shame in this. Use the MFT dogfight mode, you get no rad, however, you can't use the shortcut key. So I need the dogfight. Do I need the dogfight switch in the dogfight position? And then do some shit with, well, whatever. Let's just fuck with it. Let's see. Dogfight. That should do it.
Reverse. Fight's on.
I don't think there's a way to dodge that missile.
Terminate.
Colt 1 terminate.
No, I'm not using Gemini. just auto, ugh. God, fuck this guy. Now I just need to know how to get vertical scan on my HUD. If I could do that, it would auto lock once I rolled into him. It would save me precious seconds.
This will be a defensive BFM setup for you. I'm at your 3 o'clock at about 9,000 feet range. I will be the attacker. I'll call for a 50-degree check turn to the left to put myself on a defensive perch. Reverse your turn at my reverse call, then maneuver at will and engage if my fight's on call. Flanker 1, ready.
Colt 1 ready.
Check 50 left.
Yeah, you die. I mean, that's kind of it. I'm gonna try hauling the nose around the other direction and see if I have any better luck. Probably not.
Reverse. Fights on.
And again, I get tempted. I just... That's something.
Lock. Chat. Flare.
Oh! How the turns have tabled, motherfucker.
Colt 1, terminate.
Okay, okay. Now, because I like science, is this a repeatable experiment? If I can do it one more time like that, I'll be pretty confident. Yeah, okay, so the trick then is to use your Jahimics, slap it into dogfight mode, and come up here and just lock it, you know, do this thing. I'd rather have an auto lock mode on like a vertical scan, but I mean, it's just as simple as just turn and pull. Let's try that one more time. If I can get it one more time, we'll move on. It's only science if you're writing it down. I'm recording it. It's even better. And I've got witnesses. You guys are my peer review. Thank you. I appreciate it.
This will be a defensive BFM setup for you. From entry 3 o'clock at about 9,000 feet range, I will be the attacker. I'll call for a 50-degree check turn to the left to put myself on an offensive perch. Reverse your turn at my reverse call, then maneuver at will and engage at my fights on call. Flanker 1, ready.
Colt 1, ready.
Check 50 left. Reverse. Fights on.
Oh, shit.
Lock.
Oh, did you see that X? Holy shit. That thing is insane. Alright. Am I out of missiles already? Mad Dog. Nope. Where's my gun? Oh, that would have been a guns kill.
Altitude.
Alright, I'll still call this a reasonable success. Come on, come on, come on. Box 3, short. That might hit. Yep.
Flanker 1, terminate.
Woo!
Colt
Alright,
1, terminate.
we'll call it good. Why did my gun not fire? I need to know that shit. Because it doesn't fire in that mode, I guess. Does it need to be in dogfight mode for the gun? Do I need to hit, like, take my hand off the stick and come up here to the MFD and, or whatever. I almost gunned his ass. Anyway, that's better. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. And it's all downhill from here, guys. Offensive shouldn't be too hard. I don't know. I lost track of the. You didn't pay the monthly subscription for the M61 Vulcan. Brought to you by Tesla. All right.
This will be an offensive BFM setup for you at your 3 o'clock, about 9,000 feet range. You will be the attacker. I'll call for a 50-degree check turn to the right, put you on an offensive
It should
approach.
be.
I'll reverse my turn at your reverse call. I will maneuver at will and engage at your fights on call. Flanker 1, ready.
Colt 1 ready.
Check 50 right.
Reverse. Fights on.
Lock.
That should do it. One would hope.
Flanker 1, terminate.
Colt 1 terminate.
I don't think there's a whole hell of a lot to learn from that. Let's do a neutral. And this is going to be who can queue up the missile the quickest and shoot the other one in the face. I expect a lot of mutual kills on this one. A lot of people are about to find out they don't pay for the heated seat paywall as it gets chilly. Yeah, don't get me started, dude. I was expecting a quick and easy, like, fly formation and get information and fly home thing, but this is got a lot more going.
This will be a neutral BFM setup. And at your 3 o'clock at about 12,000 feet range. We'll turn 45 degrees away from each
Oh, we're
other
doing it
at
that way.
my turn away call. Turn back and engage at will at my turn in and fights on call. Flanker 1, ready.
Colt 1 ready.
15 and then turn what, 90?
Turn away.
Turn back in until we see the other guy, I think is how we're doing this. My math ain't mathin'.
Turn in. Fights on.
Lock.
Yeet. As directed. Are you telling me my 4.9X's?
Flanker 1, terminate.
Are you fucking
Hold on,
kidding
sorry.
me? Oh, hell no. Hell no! Hell no! Ah, 4 AIM-9X's. Just bam, 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 bam. And he just like flicks an R-77 at me like he's flicking water off his fingers. And that just hits me in the face. It's like, come on, dude. No, no, no. I don't think so. Anyway.
This will be a neutral BFM setup. And at
We ain't
your
going
3
down like
o'clock
that.
At about 12,000 feet range. We'll turn 45 degrees away from each other at my turn away call. Turn back and engage at will at my turn in. And
I got another
fights on
idea too.
call. Flanker 1, ready.
45 degrees away and then turn back and engage.
Colt 1 ready.
Yeah, okay.
Turn away.
Since I don't need to worry about fuel.
Fights on.
Lock.
Flanker 1, terminate.
That's right,
Colt 1
bitch.
terminate.
Don't outgame the gamer. Maybe the 9X launch envelope is a little different than you used to. Yeah, I don't normally use it. That's probably it. But it looks also, to me, it looked like it saw flares and just went, oh, hey, flares, I love those. and went to lunch on them. I'll watch the TAC view and see what happened. It could be I fired them too much off bore sights, I guess, and he had a better line of sight on me. You know, kinetics and all that shit. Yeah, it's possible. All right, but I think we're good on that. Got some learning in, especially on the defensive. That was good shit. Learning what you suck at and then working your way through it. That's how we do. All right, so what's up now?
Okay, Colt 1, that's all we have for you. We'll meet up for a debrief at 1700. Flanker 1, out.
Righto, bro. Are we following them? No, they're going to Grim Lake. We're going to Nellis. They're going to Grim Lake. Okay. I guess we're not going to worry too much about the logistics of that. And we're going to next waypoint. Fuel is set to 3,500. Okay, let's pull back a little bit. What mode are we in? Nav. Okay. Yeah, good enough. That was some good dope. So far, this campaign has, and magically my missiles are back on the rail. I love it. It's Ace Combat in the house. Every single mission I've flown here has taught me at least one thing, which is the point of a training campaign. I love it. It's good shit. Good shit. Pretty happy with this. Right, so out in the wild, you get jumped by a flanker or somebody. To trick them would be to slap into dogfight mode. Hopefully you have a Jahimix and just pull like hell in burner at hopefully somewhere around 400 knots and just lock and fire. Put him yeah, okay. Oh, the Ace Combat 4 music? Hell yeah. You know, I keep wanting to do that, and then back then, YouTube was different, and the reason I did that was, one, because I wanted to and it was cool, but two, I was like, well, I don't want to mess up any algorithms. I don't want to get snagged for copyrights, and I figured the best way to do that would be to use game music because people are streaming games. This is my logic back then. And I'm like, well, that shouldn't really bother anybody. It seems okay. Well, it just is okay until somebody decides it's not. So, I don't know. What are they doing back there? Messing with me? They're doing that wildcard thing where you have to spot them? Okay, wildcard spot at 6 o'clock. Yeah, I just kind of quit because I didn't want to get in trouble on YouTube, and also, like, well, if I, when I actually get anything done, I'm a musician also, like, not a good one, but an okay one, and, you know, I was like, well, those people need, I don't know, it's complicated. It's not just music law, but it's like international music copyright law. I just didn't want to fuck with it. If you turn on Ace Combat music, you get unlimited missiles. Ah, that's the trick. And
Blackjack, Colt 1, checking out.
and you can hear it. Their enemy radio transmissions too, as I understand it.
Colt 1, Blackjack, cleared to depart. Contact NATSIF on UHF Channel 4.
I remember the first time I played Ace Combat. I think it was 4. And I was like really confused because I could hear all these, you know, it sounded like I was winning and losing at the same time because I didn't realize you could hear everybody, like everybody just in combat is on guard frequency, I guess, and they're just all talking and, you know, talking to each other. I'm like, wait, what's going on? I don't understand. I just blew those guys up. That should be a success. And they're saying we've lost. It's like, oh, I'm hearing them talk. I'm kicking their asses, and I'm hearing their reactions to it. It took me like an embarrassing amount of time to figure that out. But yeah, like, I still, like, to this day, I think Ace Combat Zero is my favorite. Might be my favorite game soundtrack of all time. Maybe. It's up there. It's top 3 for sure. If I had a recording, if I had an MP3, I have those discs somewhere. Yes, CDs, I have them. I just realized my current desktop doesn't even have a CD drive. Yeah, changing times. Or it would be more bearable if we all just were one big party line. I suppose. You could be like, hey dude, do you feel like shooting at each other today? And they'd be like, no, not really. Like, I don't really feel like dying either. So can we just like not do this? Yeah. Let's maybe we can do paintball instead or something and, you know, resolve things that way. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's do that. Ever been on a Counter-Strike server with open channel? Heard the chaos. Oh, I bet. Dude, it's been a million years since I played Counter-Strike. Holy shit. Yeah, I imagine hearing like everybody talk would be like just batshit. And what are the teams up to now? I think when I played it was 8-on-8 or 12-on-12. I can't remember. It's been a while. Last time I played, it was before Condition 0 came out. It was like 1.3 point something. Exactly, it'd just be Christmas truce. It was like in July. You could be like, talk like a pirate day truce. Yarr. Right? There's a line from awesome game, Alice Madness Returns, where Alice is talking to, I think it's the White King. And the White King's like, sacrifices must be made, and Alice says something like, funny that the people who are demanding sacrifices are never the ones making them. And I was like, ooh, damn, yeah, that's some relevant shit. If you want to get into some serious shit, just for like maybe 30 seconds, there are 2 Marines ever to win 2 Medals of Honor. One Dan Daly and one Smedley Butler, right? Smedley Butler, interesting dude. And these are some old school badass guys. Smedley Butler wrote a pamphlet called War is a Racket. If you want to get... It's pretty thinky. And it sounds... It was written, what is this? This is like turn of the century. It's about 100 years old. Almost that, at least. And you can find that pamphlet. It's a quick read. I think it's like maybe 5 to 20 pages, somewhere in that range. It's been a while. But this is a guy who had been there, done that, like kind of a, if I remember right, I'm sketchy on this, but I think he was a contemporary of Teddy Roosevelt, right? And he was like, well,
Altitude.
there's a given reason war is fought, and then the actual reason, and they're never the same. We'll never know the actual real reason why, you know, this war happened or that, because the people who make those decisions need to motivate people. He says it better than I ever could. Just if you have 20 to 45 minutes, maybe read that. And it's coming from a source of credibility. It's not like it's not some hippie, you know, oh, we should all just, you know, just hold hands. It's not like that. This guy had been there, done that, paid his dues. It's just 2 Medals of Honor this guy had, so he's got the cred. Yeah, that's right. Sounds familiar. Yeah, Smedley Butler, War is a Racket, is worth reading. I'm not saying I agree with everything on that or that I adopt the thesis, but coming from him, I just think, you know, it's something I would take more seriously than coming from somebody who has never engaged with the topic in a first-hand basis or studied it. And he was like, he was in contention to be commandant of the Marine Corps, if I remember correctly. So, like, he was moving up. He was probably going to be one of those guys making those decisions. And he got passed up for it, so there may be some sour grapes going on there. Maybe, but I don't think so. His words ring true. So, just, I don't know. You guys might like it. There's a motivation for war, and then there's a justification. Right. Something like that. And one follows the other, and they, you know, sometimes they line out, sometimes they don't. Yeah, the people with the most to gain are never the ones with the most to lose. And the ones with the most to lose are the ones, you know, out there earning those medals and putting their asses on the line, right? You know, it goes on and on. Man, I'm getting into some crazy ass shit just now. And also, everything I'm saying, keep in mind, subject to revision and change. I'm not making an assertion. I'm always revising my opinions, trying to make them a little better than they were yesterday and so on. But my current thought is, I don't know, it's complicated. That's my cop-out answer for everything. Cannot be summed up in a YouTube stream. That was almost... Ooh, did I just do a tail strike? Did I just tail strike? Oh, man. Oh, that was almost going to be my best F-16 landing yet, but then I scraped those beautiful ventral strakes. This thing does not like to stop. In the air, on the ground, you name it. Anyway, that's some serious shit, right? But, and I'm saying this as somebody who tried to go in twice. And, you know, my family, half of them were in the military, but like half of them, one of them, my nuclear family of 4, one was a casualty of one of those things, and then the second one, this is some grainy personal shit, but as a direct result of that, accidents and, you know, whatever, then I lost another 25%. So my family of 4, nuclear family of 4 growing up is now 2. Automod nerf my last comment about switching to nerf missiles. Automod, what the hell? Get that out of my channel. You say whatever the hell you want, man. Yeah, I'm the one talking about, like, it's moderating your chat, and I'm sitting here talking about, like, yeah, you know, deaths in the family, and war is, you know, you never know why, and, you know, I'm talking about some serious shit. It's not conspiracy or anything, it's just, I don't know what you'd call it. Anyway, you didn't come here for this, but here we are. That's how I roll. That's going to be the trademark of Hangers 079, is doing one thing and then going on a tangent about something completely different. I was just suggesting no truce in war, but everyone switches to Nerf missiles like TAG. Yeah, you know, I mean, you still have the contest. And, like, look, I'm playing a combat simulator. It's not like I'm sitting here like, oh, war has always been... Yeah, it's complicated. And I think it's a fallacy to think that pacifism is just total bullshit. Like, you can't do that. As long as there's humans, there are bad people. Like, you can't just be like, oh, well, I'm just not going to fight. Like, that just means you're going to get eradicated, and the only people left are violent assholes. You know, you need to stand up to that shit and fight it. But, I've gone way off track here. And I went to park on the wrong side of the runway, but at this point we're just going to go with it. Because I don't want to taxi all the way back to... damn. Well, did we go with mission 6 or not? That's the question. I may take a break, get a sip of coffee, and we can do mission 6 if you guys are down. Think of like an aerial rip-off. They should do a wrap-off talking smack and then open mic radio. Hell yeah, man. And you could have like cross genre competitions. Like, you could do a rap battle, but also, like, you know, you can go to that if you want to. But, you know, I'm showing up at the guitar solo competition. That's the one I'm going to. I distinctly remember turning my radio on in this. Oh, okay. Remember we did that air start segment, whatever you call it, thing. Yeah. Yeah, can you imagine the fate of the world being determined by who can play the most excellent guitar solo? Like, I'm down for that. Like, yo, you can't shred, so you know, yeah, we're we're taking your land. Sorry, them's the rules. I didn't write them. I mean, you can you can hang out here, but we're just putting our flag over your head. That's all. Battling banjo stuff. I'm down for that. I'm all right. Let's see. Battery off. That's off. All right, we're as dark as we're going to get on this jet. Let's see how we did. It doesn't matter because it all got reset, I believe. Or does it tally it all up? Yeah, it didn't give us credit for those kills because it resets everything. That's cool. There's that one Tenacious D song where they play the best song in the world. Yes, the tribute to it. Alright, mission 6. Let's see, do we... Let me alt-tab out. You guys are going to probably lose audio here. I'm going to read the mission briefing for 6. Which is... reading things you can't see. The commander's intent for this phase is to shift from a focus on local air superiority to increase strikes on Redland centers of gravity. You will provide a fighter escort to a strike package, hence the J-11 FAM flight exposure. Destroying Redland strategic targets. Redland IADs will still be targeted, but the most likely threat to air operations are from mobile SAMs, so stay above 15, I'm guessing. And the Redland IADs has been degraded in earlier missions. Use this package along with standard operation procedures to document to plan and execute your mission. Colt, okay, forward 2 forward flights, which are CAP. Colt 1 escorting a Springfield Hornets and F-15Es and a bunch of strikers. Let's see. Sorry, you can't see this. I'm just reading things. Can I make you guys see this? Can you see this? There we go. Okay. So the conditions are all changing here. So we'll be escort to probably all these dudes. Weather, bullseye here, just a bit east of the container. Right? Is that the container there? Red side cap. Regenerations. Flankers and MiG-21s. SA-15s, 15, HQ there. Let's see, Redlands IS, mostly tactical SAMs. Systems active in the AO. Yeah, I'm gonna, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, I got enough time to do this. This will probably be it for the day, though. Start at 20 at 9 o'clock Zulu, taxi 10 minutes later, take off 5 minutes after that. Departure 21, 20, okay, and then we push at probably right behind the seed flights, right? So OCA 21:35, seed push 5 minutes prior, strike 5 minutes to 5 to 10 minutes after that. No, yeah, 5 to 10 minutes after. Do I still have pets? Yes, I have Luna the Labrador and a very fat cat who looks like a walrus. But Luna's really old now. She's almost continent. She tries, but she can't quite, you know. I remember showing my wife some pet videos and she's like, hey, isn't that the voice of the Flight Sim guy? No fucking way. There's no way. There's no way anybody recognizes me. Holy shit. That's insanity. Yeah, that was me. And like, if you look at my channel, like the #1 video is still Henry the Pigeon helps with groceries or something. Or is Henry the Pigeon's morning routine one of those? Like, people still ask me about Henry the Pigeon, and I'm like, well, funny story about him. he immigrated to Canada and started a family up there. but not before attacking my actual kid. And what an ungrateful little bastard he was. And it hurts because we were bros. Yeah, we have the black Labrador. She let out a loud, contented sigh. Yeah, and I've got Luna, the yellow one. She's right behind me. She's a squishy beast. All right, 14, 16. All right, so that's mission 6. I think I'm gonna go with it. All right. Yeah, I should probably do a video on Henry the Pigeon's fate because people keep asking. That little bastard. Like we were bros. What really hurts is the betrayal of that little pigeon. We were such good buds, and then he straight up, he went dark side. It was pretty bad. And he's also a little pervert too, that little bird. Ugh, the paraphilia. I feel the need to clarify. I feel the need to explain having said just that. Okay, give me a second. Okay, alright. Pause. Give me 5. I'll be back in 30 seconds. I'm going to get some coffee. One sec, let me put this thing in the chat in case anybody... back in 30. In 30 seconds. And then I'll explain what happened to Henry the Pigeon. Alright. Yeah, I'll explain for sure. It's kind of funny. It's a happy ending, really, but he turned into kind of an asshole. Alright, I'll be right back. Gotta go get... I'm gonna... 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Okay, back. Wait. B, A, C, K. Bam. Okay. So, Henry the Pigeon, right? Yeah, long story. Where to start on this? Okay, so we found him in Texas, and I rescued, I don't know, like 12 to 15 pigeons. Raised them from whatever state they were as chicks until we taught them how to eat, we taught them how to fly, and then we just, when it came time to let them go, there were pigeons all over the neighborhood, so when they could fly and eat, we were like, okay, go make friends, go out the door, and they never looked back. They would just join the local flock, and, we'd see them, floofing around, being pigeons with the rest of the locals, right? Well, Henry the Pigeon, the reason he ended up with us is because he was like a few days younger than the other pigeons when we first picked him up or something like that. And it was just enough because they grow real fast, right? So they did, hang on one second. I'm gonna get my start up right. What that meant was he set his homing device, he calibrated his little pigeon GPS to our living room, as his home, where he just absolutely had to return to it like instinctively, and he wouldn't leave. So so every time we'd open the door, that little bastard would fly right back in, not just to the living room, but like back into his cage. He's like, this is my house, I live here. He'd fly, we'd leave the cage open, and every time he would just walk right back into it, just strut right in. And so we're like, okay, well, I guess he's ours now. And then came time to move, and we were moving from like Texas to Canada, and I'm thinking, okay, well, that will be far enough away from his home base, so it should reset his GPS, and he should recalibrate, and he should set his new home to wherever we end up in Canada. And then we can let him outside, and he'll do the same things, and hopefully he'll join the local flock up there. Well, we got there, and this is Hamilton. If you're familiar with Toronto, it's like, where were we? Oakville, that area. And beautiful spot, loved it, but there were hawks everywhere. Everywhere there were hawks. Like, if we let him outside, the dude was going to die. So, like, well, and I didn't even talk about what it took to import him into Canada, because technically, pigeons are poultry, legally. So, because people do eat them, they have to pass poultry standards, whether you're going to eat your pet or not. So, so he had to pass poultry standards, which means he had to get vaccinated against exotic Newcastle disease, which 29.75. That was a whole thing, because the vet was trying to do the right thing, but gave him the wrong vaccine. So we had to cross into Canada, leave him with a vet in New York, pay stupid amount of money to board him while the vaccine incubated in his system, then come back and get him, and then bring him back to our house. And then, okay, so it's fine. We had a pretty big house up there. It was nice. Like, I'll never be able to afford anything like that, like IRL. It was like a cool assignment I had. And then, you know, I figured, well, we can't let him outside because he's going to be hawk food. So we'll just let him fly around the house. And, you know, he'd stay in his cage most of the time. They threatened him with being made into dinner when he was bad. Actually, I'll explain that. This is where I'm like, my pigeon was a pervert. Okay, this is where I'm sorry. I gotta pause it. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. It goes like this. He's floofing around the house, being a bird, you know, and we were total bros. He'd sit on my shoulder, and I'd play Mass Effect or whatever, and, you know, he'd be a cool bird. Yeah, it's beautiful up there. Beautiful. It's like a case study in how to build a neighborhood the right way. Like, there's green spaces and public space and plenty of private space. It was great. Anyway, so we started. So my wife, now ex, but then wife, we're still besties, whatever. But we're not together anymore. But we noticed that she had these plush blobfish slippers, right? So, what time is it? 21. We don't take off for another 10, but I'm going to go ahead and get ahead of schedule here. Right. So we started noticing those blobfish slippers ended up in places that we didn't put them. Like, somehow, so we had like a living room with the TV and like some shelves on the left that had like some kids' toys on it, and the blobfish kept making their way. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. In fact, whatever you think, that's what happened. So these blobfish slippers kept moving closer and closer to these shelves on like a bottom shelf in there. And we also at the same time started noticing things like Q-tips, pieces of grass, straw, like little things like that just kind of accumulate around that area, and we're like, what the hell? Like, our kid isn't getting into this stuff. She was a toddler, you know, we figured she was getting into stuff, but like the way we had things blocked off, there's no way she could have done that. I gotta wait for these hornets. The blobfish is underrated as far as attractiveness, right? Well, I mean, you do you. I mean, I'm not judging. So what was going on was Henry the Pigeon was dragging one of the blobfish slippers to that shelf and like marrying it. And all the hornets are waiting for me. Okay, I guess I'll just go. The Canadian standoff. Speaking of Canada. Are those Canadian hornets? I think they're Navy. Anyway, yeah. So what he had done is he was scouring around the house, picking up like toothpicks and Q-tips and pieces of string and all these little doodads, and building like a shitty nest, because pigeons make shitty nests, and dragged the blobfish to it. And we saw this happen in real time. He dragged it in there and just like fill in the blank. He filled in the blank, and we're like, oh my god, that's what's going on. And right about that time, he started getting to be a real asshole. Like like that was in the living room where the whole family hung out and watched movies and everything. Consummating his marriage to the blobfish, exactly, right in front of us, right in front of us, right in front of my kid, who was a toddler. I think she was like 1 or 2, and they're like, oh, that's what's going on. So, yeah, it's true. They have really shitty nests, and they make them on cliffs and stuff, and like naturally, like in caves. And that's probably how he ended up with Henry to begin with, because their nests suck and they just fall out. But they have a crazy. Their fertility rate is just insane. Like they have 2 every couple of months, and then those 2, it gets pretty weird after a while. But so the thing is, he built the nest because it was in the living room. He started getting really territorial about it, and you can see where this is going. Little asshole. Like he started, like he used to hang out on my head and sit on my shoulder and be all like, he's like, hey bro, who are you gonna romance in Mass Effect? I'm like, I'm not telling you, man. I don't get into that. He's like, well, I'm into it, because I don't think you need to stick to your own species. And I'm like, what are you getting at, bro? And he's like, well, just saying, because just the internet and stuff, it's just opened my mind. I'm like, you need to get off my keyboard, dude. So then we found out what was going on, and he started attacking us in the living room. One day we'll teach her about not the birds and the bees, but the pigeons and the blobfishes. No, we moved him on specifically to prevent having to have that conversation. So he was, he'd be this like kind of a dick and start attacking us and like pecking at me and like at my hands when I'm trying to play video games. Legion was your romance. Good choice. I think there's a mod for that. Did you write it? So Kiddo was in the living room, and Henry's just floofing around like he did, and then we heard screaming, and I came around the corner and I saw this blur of feathers on my kid's face. I don't even know, like I loved that bird, but I would have killed him. Like I ran at him and I was gonna swat him away from my kid's face. Like I was like, all right, that's it, you're done. And he flew away before I got there. I scared him off, which is good. Like I probably would have swatted him and felt really bad about it, but after that I put him in the cage, and then the hunt for a new home began, and we found some cool wildlife rehab people up north of Toronto, and they integrated him with some other pigeons who had been displaced, and he ended up, it's a happy ending to the story, he ended up becoming like the boss of that new flock and made a lovely pigeon wife who was actually of his own species this time. And then they had a lot of babies apparently. So if you are north of Toronto to this day, there's probably flocks of pigeons with Henry's descendants in it. And that's how it happened. Yeah, it was a happy ending. What was the name of that group? Because they need some, if you guys, was it Shades of Hope? Is that what it's called? They were really cool. They rehabbed a ton of different kinds of animals with whatever they had. I think it was called Shades of Hope. I can't remember, but everyone has a blobfish who got away story. Yeah, usually I'm the blobfish in the story. Yeah, we threw those blobfish away. So I was like, this is kind of a waste, but like, ain't nobody gonna wear these ever again. Yeah, it was the saga.
Colt 1, Nels departure.
Yeah.
Tactical, contact Dark Star, UHF, channel 16.
All right. Yeah, sorry, that was a.
Dark Star Colt 1, as fragged. Request El Cal corridor via the Mormon Peak.
Colt 1, Dark Star, radar contact. Cleared El Cal corridor via Mormon Peak. Shell tanker available, UHF channel 14, TACAN 83 Yankee. Arco tanker available, UHF channel 15, TACAN 94 Yankee. Words Alpha. Ford 2, mission cancel. Picture available on request. Lowdown. West SA-15 active. West HQ-7 active. East SA-15 active. East HQ-7 active.
Ford 2 mission cancel is going to make things a little bit harder for us, I gotta say. This seems worthy of a video so everyone can get closure. Yeah, you know, I mean, I could just edit what I just said down, but it's going to confuse a lot of people who came here for Henry the Pigeon or are watching like an F-16 stream. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I don't.
Springfield 1,
I know I did some time ago, but I don't like put my face on the video lately. I guess I could draw a cartoon or something. Oh, that would be funny. Drew like shitty bitmap drawn, like hand-drawn animations of Henry's story. Yeah, and that way when anybody asks, hey, how's Henry? I could be like, here's the link. It's a good idea. Yeah, you know, just gotta get scribbling. I gotta learn how to do animations, really shitty ones. Yeah, that took place over 2 years, 3 years maybe? There was more to it. There was a thing where like, we were getting kicked out of our house, or we thought we were going to get kicked out of our house because the landlord was going to sell it, and we're like, oh no, because if we leave, like, so this is when Henry was cool with us, and we were still playing video games together and stuff. And this is like around the time Assassin's Creed Unity, I'm thinking, was the thing. I kind of spaced things out by whatever game I was playing, and chronicle him, get your loot, entertain the tavern. You know, I could. I'm gonna write that song in A minor. Let's go blues in A minor. Yeah, standard 12-bar blues. Henry was not a complicated man. I just spaced out. Right. So before we had Henry, I'm like, well, what are we going to do with these pigeons? Because at some point they're going to learn how to fly, and I want them to have access to the outside, but I also want to make sure that they have a safe place to go, and so we can feed them without disturbing them. So, like, the way our closet was, there was a shelf, and right behind that shelf was a sliding window. So what I did is built a kind of screened-in enclosure that had sliding doors on both sides of it, and one of them butted up against the sliding window to the outside. So it was like I called it the pigeon airlock. So it was like you could open both sides, close both sides, whatever. And that way we could lock them in if it was like a tornado outside or too cold, or open it on one side and feed that. You know what I mean, right? More entertaining tale than it had the right to be. Yeah, it was a pretty and I'm leaving out some big chunks of information. We had a bunch of other pigeons. Our favorite was the white pigeon. So, no, I mean, our favorite that didn't stay with us. Henry was cool until he fell to the dark side. He got possessive of that blobfish. He was like, I don't know, he was saying, we can live like we want to in my new empire. And the blobfish was like, what are you talking about? Henry, I heard you scraped a youngling's face. And Henry was like, they told you, didn't they? Zilch was here. And Blobfish was like, no, he wasn't. And then it just went downhill. Anyway, that falls apart pretty quick. I'm misquoting. But there's this really cool pigeon who he was all white except the primary feathers on his right wing were gray, like dark gray, like charcoal. We called him the white pigeon, and he was super cool. Once we turned him loose, he was very distinctive. I think he had a gray tail too. We'd see him flying around town, hanging out on top of the grocery store and stuff, and be like, "Hey, it's White Pigeon. Hey, what's up, buddy?" He'd like wave to us and throw up a gang sign, and we'd be like, "Oh no, what have they done to you, buddy?" No, he was cool. You attacked us. Why you gotta bring up old shit? Well. Alright, before I forget, I'm gonna shut this off. It does, occur to me from time to time that I'm not the most exciting dude in the world. True story. But, I do have some silly stories that would be pretty funny if you animated them. I wish I knew how to animate. Maybe I'll do stop motion. That'd be cool. When your pigeon falls in with the young crowd, remember that old drug PSA. I learned it by watching you. Yeah, if there's that pigeon's descendants in Horizon City, Texas, you'll know them because they have a single gray wing. Should have named him Solo Wing. Let's see. Guess I don't really need that rattled.
Dodge 1, airborne.
I don't know. Never tried an F-16's air conditioning and heat. I would hope so with a giant friggin' greenhouse over your head. Looks like some data link targets out there past 60. Probably, yeah, just guessing 80 miles. May as well fence in. ECM operating mode 2. Lights off. Air-to-air mode. That will be our primary. Alright. Well, hang on. Let's see what we got going on here. Who are you? Okay. Friendly. Radar contact not in data link? Well, that raises some questions, doesn't it? Okay. I guess we can let that go. Kind of a long way down the road to realize this, but my flight is nowhere to be seen. I may orbit a little bit here. We are ahead of schedule.
Flight, join up.
Oh, this might be a shit mission if I don't have those extra sticks. Where are they? Okay, there they are. Alright.
Flight, cover me.
Let's just... Okay. At least they're responding at least. Let's get that guy cooking. F-16 lady pleaser myth. Go on. It is the electric jet. Hang on a minute. Is that what that is? Pedal adjust. Huh. But then there's this thing. I mean, that could go either way. Right below the HSI. What is that? What? See, now I have to know what this thing is. Maybe it's universal attachment for whatever happens to tickle your fancy. I ain't judging. And it looks like bandits at 80 miles, 1 o'clock. So it'll be us if you know how the seat bolts on, but supposedly the seat resonates at Mach 0.67 in a way that's entertaining. Yeah, that sounds questionable. At what frequency? Ha, you know, we can. You know what? So the seat is. We don't know what it's made out of. What is this? Some. It's a combination of different materials. So yeah, yeah. Who knows? I was about to science it, but like you know, if it's this mass, then we could probably figure out the frequency it resonates at, and what's happening at Mach 0.67 that might 2/3 the speed of sound could do. Yeah, I don't know. It's just sounds pretty suspicious, and like any little change in that system's gonna probably throw that off. Would be my guess. Look, I'm glad we had this talk though, because now we know that's a yeah. Somewhere somebody's done the math on that. If there's you loosen one bolt, then it vibrates, but that's nonsense. The seat is set up to withstand ejection forces. Yeah, it just doesn't pass the face validity test, in my opinion. But and like, here's the thing: this is a jet. It's a fly-by-wire jet, right? If you need something to vibrate at a certain frequency, jets are not your bag. Get a helicopter, get a recip engine, you know, get a Cherokee, an ultralight, a paraglider, strapped directly to your back. I mean, if we're going there, like if you're gonna go, just there's better ways to do it than learn to fly an F-16. Like more direct pathways that are far less risky to your, you know. I mean, that's a whole career path just for that. I mean. Then again, if you're going to be in an F-16 anyway, and you happen to have that as a side benefit, as an incidental, you know, why not? I will regret this, but imagine loosening the bolt right when you're about to pop. So I'm looking, where do you loosen, what bolt? I don't see any bolts. I see some Phillips head screws, unless it's down below in the nether layers, like underneath this. But you're not getting to that when you're flying it. It just doesn't hold water, you know? And really, there's better ways to do that. Not least of which would be, you know, just date. Or find somebody who works for you. Or if you need to be in an airplane that does that for you, I mean, there's cheaper, better, more direct ways to get to it than, you know, 4 years of college and however long TBS is in the Air Force, and or you know the academy or the whatever commissioning program, plus flight school, which might wash you out at any turn, and then get selected for F-16s and then fly at a certain regime with a specific bolt loose out of your seat, it just doesn't. I mean, that's a lot to go through. But then again, maybe that path to get there is what you're into. Maybe it's that decadence, that just extravagance. I need $100 million airplane at Mach 2 class to work for me. I'm just that specific. Maybe it's a flex. There's all kinds of people out there, guys. Oh boy, this is not where I expected to go. This is not where I expected this to go. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna do a fighter sweep, an escort mission. And speaking of which, I'm acting a lot more like a sweep than an escort right now. Should be hanging back and sticking much more closely to these bros back there. I'm probably gonna orbit around waypoint 7. Actually, there's an app for that. Waypoint 6 is the marshal points. Okay, so we are past that, and let's just cycle back. Then again, forward flight did get canceled, so maybe a kind of, let's say, loose escort, kind of like a top cover might be a good idea. I'm gonna just do one circle here and wait for the bros to catch up. Yeah, I mean, people do some weird stuff just to get what they need to get. But that'd be a very specific, very drawn out paraphilia. And I'm saying this is a guy whose pigeon consummated a marriage with a blobfish slipper. For those of you coming late to that conversation, it's a long story. Yeah. So, hey dude, what'd you do last night? Oh, just flight sims. The usual. Did you stream it? Yeah.
All players, Dark Star, pre-push briefing. Full up war, visibility good with scattered clouds. Words Alpha, 4-2, mission cancel. Picture available on request. Lowdown, West SA-15, active. West HQ-7, active. East SA-15, active. East HQ-7, active.
What you talk about on your stream? Tactics and procedures and shit. No, actually, I had a long conversation about my former pigeon having his way with upholstery and footwear. Boy, it sounds really bad when I say it like that. No, wait, let me explain. It actually went like this. It's like, yeah, no, there's no way that happened. Okay, I'm gonna cycle back to 7. We got painted by flankers. Let's turn into them. If they're turning in on us, let's get them. I'm gonna say, since forward flight got canceled, normally what I would do is check in with AWACS and ask them, hey, are we forward now? Are we the fighter sweep? Logically, it seems like that's what we should do. I'd rather, if I was a hog, I would rather have the, or even if I was a seed strike, I'd rather have my air-to-air guys go in ahead rather than stay too close. All right. So yeah, that's those are things that happen in life. Oh, God. Alright, bandit 80 miles. Of course, he's on the wrong side of those SAM launchers, but I think we're above the altitude where those are going to be a factor. Maybe some S-turns? I don't know. I don't want to get too far ahead of the strike package. What I really want to do, like instinctively, is just run those guys down and kill them. Yeah, let's see what they do. Whoa, that doesn't... Oh, that's it. Whoa, that scared me. Yeah, okay, that's at the... Wait, what's this? What are you? What are you? That would be good to know. Nothing on data link.
Dark Star 1-1. Colt 1. Request picture.
Yep. Okay, got him.
1. Dark Star 1-1. Picture single group at Bulls 156. 411 at 6,000.
6,000. What is that, a helicopter? Where's my radar? Okay. That's range. Where's my radar elevation knob? I need to know what that is. For shame. Do I not have that bound? Ain't that some shit? Oh yeah, it's on there we go. There we go. Well, hello there. Well, let's go get him.
Flight. Engage bandits. 3. Roger. 2. Copy. Engaging bandit. 2. Engaging bandit. 4. Negative.
What do you mean negative?
4. Engaging bandit.
That should be an easy kill. They're way the hell down there. Got one. Alright. See what these bastards were doing? They're waiting down here in the ground clutter. You sneaky bastards. I got you, I got you. Is that a parachute or a threat? No, it's too slow. Alright, I think we need to get the hell away from these damn SAMs. Alright, so I'm gonna turn back away and then recommit on those, looks like my flight's in on that that other group there. So let's get up. Actually, we're gonna take a shortcut right through those SAM rings and get in the mix. I think that's gonna be the right move. We'll find out. They've already got taken care of. Excellent. They are all over it. First time boot up DCS on my 4K TV. Hell yes, this menu font was way too small to read. I wonder what would happen if they started strapping ultra long range missiles onto an AWACS. Funny you ask. There have been some. I think I remember at some internet rabbit hole discussing something similar. Something about the kinetics. I mean, it's not gonna, you know, you need to be fast when you shoot, right? So it's not gonna be as effective. But something about like a battleship plane hypothesis where you could load a B-1 or something full of Phoenix missiles or something. I don't know if there was any credibility to it or not. Anyway, I gotta lock in here. Bad. Wait, there's friendlies in front of me. Maybe I don't want to be shooting AMRAAMs at that. Maybe I want to keep these wingmen on my good side since they've been killing things the way I want them to lately. Also, I don't want to waste missiles if they got it pretty well in hand. Yeah, it's a shitty IFF situation right there. Steal the girl I've been hitting on. I can't tell what's what out here. That looks... Let's go to Twiz. Okay, that guy we want to get. But they also happen to be right on the wrong side of my wingman. Yeah, okay, he's out here. I don't want to sit here with doing nothing. Fox 3. That's not what I want. Come on, go, go, pitbull, pitbull, pitbull. Alright, I'm off. He may still hit. I can still crank him.
Counter.
Back in.
Chaff. Flare.
This is not a good position to be in. Woo! What the hell was that? I hope it was a 16, because if that was a flanker, it's going to be a totally different... Okay. What do we got? What do we got? I can't tell who that is. Oh, I got one. My SA is in the shitter. Okay, there's red. Let's go get him. No, that's a flanker. Somebody else got him. Alright, well at least the right guy's dead. I'll take that. Hopefully my winder doesn't decide to latch onto somebody else. Okay, SA. Woo!
Dark Star 1-1, Colt 1, request picture. Colt 1, Dark Star 1-1, clean.
Hey! Yes! Alright, let's fly backwards through our flight plan, and
Flight, join up.
so I've got one winder, one AMRAAM left. I really wish the 16 would alternate, I mean, just to keep the plane in balance a little better, like alternate left-right a little better than it does. Alright. You know what I could also do is use that targeting pod that they gave us. I never really used it in air-to-air mode. Should probably start. So 2 kills for me, 8 for the flight. That's not too bad. Got a 50% hit ratio. No. Yeah, 50% hit ratio with the missiles. How are my bags doing? Empty. Let's punch them off. Ah, shit. Look what I see.
Flight, engage bandits. Negative.
Oh, he's there, all right.
4, engaging bandits. 2, negative.
Fuel pretty good. All right, 4, and I'll take this guy. And that is a definite threat to our strike package. It's right along their flight path. That's what we get coming this far out. All right, let's turn a little left, get a little better intercept on them. Bad part is he's beam on, so there's a better chance he's going to throw the lock. What? SA-15 to the right. Not worried about him too much. Are we sure these are bandits?
Flight. Engage bandits. 3. Negative. 2. Negative.
They're probably out of missiles.
Four.
20 miles. Should be getting a little toasty for these guys. Yeah, they're doing something right. Yeah, Fox 3 on his ass.
4. 4. Engage defensive. 4. Stand watch. Say 8 o'clock. 4. Stand watch. 10 o'clock.
Is that dude already dead? What's going on here?
4.
Big 21s.
1 o'clock.
Alright.
4. Stand watch. 10 o'clock.
My SA's in the shitter once again.
4. Engaging bandit. Flight. Engage bandits. 3. Negative. 2. Negative.
Should be somewhere on my nose.
4.
There he is.
Engage defensive. Springfield. 1. In from the east. 4. Missile launch. 12 o'clock.
Fox 2.
2. 6. 4:30. Springfield. Fox 2. In from the east. Engage. Winchester. Bullseye. 2. 4. 8. 4. Winchester.
Lock.
Springfield. 1. In from the east. Engaging Sam at Bullseye. 2. 2. 6. 4:30.
Come on.
Lock.
Ford 1. Splash bandit at Bullseye 0. 6. 7. For 35 at 28,000. Ford 1. Splash bandit at Bullseye 0. 6. 6. For 35 at
Yeah, I'm just gonna go for burner and worry about fuel later, I guess. Oh man, are you gonna see fit or are you gonna let me kill you with a gun? I know what I prefer. Almost, almost. That should do it.
Springfield 1. Kill
All
Sam
players, Dark
at
Star.
Bulls 2.
West
2. 6.
HQ7
4:30.
destroyed.
Come on, dude.
All players, Dark Star. West SA-15 destroyed.
Seriously, bro? Oh, DCS. What is this thing made out of? And I'm spent. Ah, come on. There's no way. I don't care what this plane is made out of. I expect you to die, sir. Alright, well, I'm going home. Ain't shit else I can do. Ah. No, I haven't really flown the F4. Sorry, I've been missing out on the chat. Okay, there's the kill. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else I could do. May as well just... 4's RTB, I'm RTB, everybody's RTB. Yeah, there's nothing else to do.
Springfield 1, kill Sam at Bulls 2, 4, 8, 427.
Actually, I'm gonna fly back to waypoint 6. Just to stay out of these SAMs. Hey, can't say we didn't put a good effort in there, guys. I don't know what happened to 2 and 3. They just noped out. They probably ran out of missiles. And, just for some essays, go back to Rainswell scan. 64 bar. And there is somebody. There's something on the wing. If you go over here to the data link. Oh man, I do not like what's going on. What is this? Probably a MiG-21. Right in the mix with my strike package. What you should have done was land your plane. Alright, fuckface. Can't shoot this son of a bitch. I can give him something to think about.
Ford 1, Splash Bandit at Bulls 059 for 45 at 20 Springfield 1, in from the north, engaging Tusk 1, in from the east, engaging bunker at Bulls 211 for 20.
He doesn't know I'm out of missiles.
Tusk 1, in from the east, engaging utility at Bulls 211 for 21. Flight, protect my enemy. 3, affirm.
There we go.
2, copy.
That's what I'm talking about.
4, affirm.
Hit him up. They should be off my 6 somewhere. They're right here. They're in shoot range. So what I'm going to do is clear off and get them a better line of, cleaner shot on them. A crank. Man, I would love to go mess with this guy, but I'm shooting blanks.
Flight, engage bandits. 3, negative. 2, unable.
All right. Well, if we're keeping him away from our buddies, then we're doing our job. I don't know how much he's going to respect our radar lock, though. Oh, somebody got him. Hell yeah. Ford 1 got him. All right. Teamwork, baby. Now we're on to steer point 13, because that's on the way out. And, just gotta call it. I mean, Flight attack my enemy. Roger. Starts flying to my office.
Task 1, kill utility at poles 212 for 19.
Attack view on this is going to be fun. Ugh.
Springfield 1, kill Sam at poles 226, 430.
That's good. The Springfield, I think they were the ones we were supposed to be escorting in. Ford, whatever's left of Ford, they're going to be able to handle whatever's left. Any kind of regenerated. Ugh. Red air. What's funny is MiG-21s. I kind of like the MiG-21, and it's just like this little freaking Mach 2 straight line lightweight point interceptor. Just looks like all power with not much else. I haven't flown it a whole hell of a lot lately. Not for years, actually. But, like, I love the idea of it. But in the F-16, like, unless you get in its front quarter, it's kind of, as was the idea back then, right? That was kind of the F-16's original design intent, I think, was to be able to face down and defeat superior numbers of MiG-21s, because they were everywhere. They exported tons of them. It's like the AK-47 of the sky, right? They just pumped them out. Every commie block country was building license-built or pirated copies of them. They were just everywhere. They kind of still are. And the idea was, well, we need a way to fight these guys. We need a way to outturn them. Energy maneuverability, blah, 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 blah. So the F-16, you know, in part was, you know.
Dark Star Colt 1 in-flight report. Mission successful.
Damn right.
Colt 1, Dark Star, copy. You're cleared RTB.
Was like, okay, well, you need to be able to defeat scores of MiG-21s, so the F-16, I mean, just kicks their asses. I mean, they're still a threat. You get ambushed, or you find one in the rear quarter, or like, if I was a MiG-21 right now, where I would want to be would be like down in this clutter and shits, you know, and then they can zoom climb so well. So if you're under ground control, you don't need to turn your radar on. You're gonna be real hard to spot. You're not exactly stealthy, but like you're gonna be, you're controlled by GCI. They'll vector you where you need to be, and then, you know, if you're a point interceptor, what I would do is, you know, this is Soviet style stuff, right? So you'd fly on all this stuff, wait for the bombers or the strike package to fly over you, and then just pump the burner and just zoom up under their belly, like in the rear quarter into the belly, and just hit them with something close range. R3S maybe, R60, R3R will give a tone warning, but like by then you're in close. So it's kind of a cool idea. It's neat, but like at one-on-one, you know, BFM, like it's not, I have not found them to be difficult in the F-16. But a well-flown one might kick my ass, yes, and then I'll be like, oh, that sucks. In fact, one did 2 missions ago. I didn't know he was there. I was trying to kill his buddy and missing with the gun quite badly, and the wingman snuck up behind me and hit me with that piece of shit GSH-23 they have. Freaking 2-barrel recip piece of shit. I can't believe I lost to that. Ugh. So yeah, it's possible, but if I see him, he's dead. Jet sound made me nod off. Yeah, it'll do that. It's kind of like cruising in an airliner. Just relax, sit back, and enjoy your flight. Are we at racetrack already? that. That happens in real life with a rude awakening. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Yeah! In that auto GCAS, saved at least one F-16 so far. Dude got G-lock and was gonna crash into the ground, and the thing recognized it and pulled him out of the dive. Saved his ass. I forgot the details of that, but it's happened at least once.
Flight RTB. 3, roger. 2, copy. 2, RTB. 4, RTB. 3, RTB.
This part is so cool. The new cloud system, they still feel new to me, and damn, I gotta say, they are something special. So this is mission 6 out of 10. Over the hump on my way to F-16 mastery. No. Mere competence I'd be pretty happy with. It does feel pretty cozy though. In various iterations I've flown the F-16 simulated in some way since the original Falcon. 4-color CGA, if anybody remembers that. And then I missed Falcon AT, but I played the shit out of Falcon 3 from Falcon 4. BMS, and now it's all worked into DCS, so I should know it better than I do, but the systems modeling in DCS beat everything else to shit. What we do not have yet, as everyone keeps pointing out, is a dynamic campaign, but shut off my radar here. FCR, yeah.
Colt 1, Dark Star, push NATSIF, UHF Channel 4.
Colt 1, inbound.
Alright, let's see if we can park it in the right place this time. So I'm going to take runway right. Excuse me. It really is hard to slow this jet down unless you're pulling pulling a turn. And that idle with speed brakes out, and it's just, I'll slow down eventually. I am nose down a little bit, but damn, this thing, it just wants to go. What's the gear speed in this? Something I should know by now. Let's just say 200.
All players, Dark Star. All strikers have egressed.
Well, if we can assume they didn't get hit by missiles, which we can't assume, but then we will consider our job done. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the frontal cross section of this thing, it's like, it almost disappears. It just, and it's pointy, super slippery, which is awesome. It's a nasty fighter. I mean, really just dirty. I mean, you wouldn't know it based on the landing pattern I'm flying here, this floaty airliner style, but yeah, this in the Hornet, like, I feel it when I screw up, it's my fault. You cannot blame this airplane for your mistakes. It's like, yeah, that's on me. Like, it's just a it's a monster, man. Yeah, damped out with fly-by-wire. Yeah, I do feel that. Notice that right away. It's weird in DCS. Like, I was really skeptical about it when people started talking about this, but I'd flown the Mustang and the Hog. Those are my main things, and they're like, oh, the fly-by-wire, it changes. It feels totally different. I'm like, how different can it feel in a simulator? Well, extremely. Like, it's huge. Like, with the feedback you get from the Mustang in particular, that's what I know the best, I guess. You start to kind of, the feedbacks they give you as far as, like, buffet and audio cues and stuff like that, even if you don't have force feedback, you start to kind of feel like you've got those physical control surfaces connected. It's just imagination, but your brain kind of fills in the blanks, right? But when you switch to the fly-by-wire jets, it's kind of, does feel like there's some interference, like it's a buffer, like it's not a direct input. Like it's doing stuff with what, it's interpreting what you're saying instead of just doing that thing. And like, it's noticeable when you, like, night and day when you flip from Cat 3 to Cat 1, it's like, oh, the jet just is letting me do a lot more now. Yeah, an F-104. Yeah. I mean, sounds like a good time to me. That one had a reputation, as I understand it. This is the longest landing approach, I swear. think the 737s come in hotter than this. But you know, I'm cool with it because the F-16 has that dainty little landing gear. You can't manhandle it like the Hornet. Oh yeah, I've been next to 104s, and like if you look at them, it's like, oh man, I don't want to hit my head on that. It would lay your face right open. It's sharp. All that for a Hornet landing? Yeah, I suck at this. Alright, that's cool. Nothing broke. I mean, if I say nothing broke, it makes it real. Oh yeah, and that's another reason I like DCS so much is you get to see the contrast between how different companies, different planes, different countries solve the same problem, different priorities, different, you know, different engineering styles. Pretty damn cool. It's like comparing the AK to the M16 sometimes. That was a horrible landing. Made all the worse by the amount of time it took me to set it up. Some time in the pattern in the F-16 may not be a bad idea. Yeah, that's Russian stuff kind of in general. Built like a tank. Easy to build, easy to service. Like, more likely to break down while sitting there. But easier to fix when that does happen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were built to be operated by people with less training. So, you know, conscripts on the road, shit like that. And that, you can go into that whole thing. If you look at like the military assistance program or like when the United States, when we export a weapon system, it's not just the weapon system. It's the training and the logistics chain and everything else behind it. It's not just like an F-16 or an F-35 you're getting access to. It's like NATO compatibility and economy of scale and knowledge and availability of parts and all that other good stuff. Like, it's not just about the plane. So you can't really, like, you can look at the numbers, you know, and say, oh, this performs better in that regime. Like, yeah, sure, maybe, but also there's more to it than that. Always is. And, you know, it could just be me nerding out on that and thinking it matters. But I think it does, you know, if you listen to people who work in the field. It's like, yeah, well, yeah, I saw that article too, but, you know, the reality is more, ooh, yeah, man, there's more to it. There's always more to it. It's just like any contest cannot be settled on paper. You know, you gotta, the real world is where this shit happens. It's not all about the T-dubs, the thrust to weight ratio, or whatever you want to fixate on. And I hear that in the forums all the time, or at least when I used to go to the forums, like, hey, you know, there's no way this should do that or whatever. It's like, well, first off, have you flown one or heard somebody who has talk about it? And second, you know, whatever. It's it's interesting shit. Alright, I'll start shutting shit down. I think that's gonna be it for me for the day after this power off. Gonna check the debrief and I'll have to call it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly, yeah, the MiG-23, it's like, it looks superior in every way on paper, but like, if you gotta actually operate that thing, yeah, or fly it for that matter. Oh, so it was a couple years ago, air show, it was Sun and Fun Air Show, they had a MiG-23. I talked to those guys, the pilots. I actually got to go up and like pet the side of the MiG-23. I was like, "Hey," well, I was like, "It's a MiG-23." Like, I'm old enough to know how cool it is to see a MiG-23 in person. Like how cool this is. And they're like, "Yeah, well, it's really hard to fly." And I'm like, is it hard? Like, what's it like? And they're like, "Well, neurosurgery would be hard if you're not trained as a neurosurgeon." And I was like, "Sounds about right." It's an extremely manual, extremely hands-on process, hard to keep in the air, and you know, those guys had their hands full. So I got to watch it take off. It did a few flybys. The big old freaking mock diamonds and the exhaust and everything, super cool. It was like watching Wings Channel in the '90s, only like it was right there and you could feel it. It was just awesome. And yeah, exactly. I was like, I couldn't believe it. And then a few weeks or months after that air show, that same MiG-23 had a mishap in flight. The two guys I talked to punched out and it crashed and just got destroyed. So those guys knew what the hell they were doing, and they had a really good logistics chain to keep behind them to keep that one plane flying, and it still had a problem. So it's just, you know, it's not all about the raw stats. There's so much more to it. Anyway, let's check out the debriefing. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. Yeah, yeah. So that was the MiG. I got to pet that MiG. I pet it right on the intake. And 4 kills. All right. Shot hits with a J-11. Looks like I hit this dude. Okay, so shot 1 hit, a second hit, a miss. I'm having trouble figuring out what hit what here. Well, I'll probably tack view it later. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for thanks for listening. And tune in next time when I have more stories about pigeons copulating with inanimate objects, because you know that's just how things go now. Anyway, thanks. I'll talk to you later, and catch you again.